This is one story you won't believe actually happened, but history is filled with moments that are stranger than fiction. Stick around, because by the time we're done, you'll never look at a rooster the same way again. This is the tale of Napoleon Bonaparte and his feathered spy. First, let's set the scene. It's early 19th century France, and Napoleon Bonaparte is at the height of his power. He's a tactical genius, a leader respected and feared across Europe. Now, his ambitions weren't just confined to the battlefield. Napoleon had a knack for what we would call today espionage. You'd think he'd rely solely on human spies, but here's where our story takes a bizarre, unexpected turn. Enter the rooster, a bird no one would look twice at, which made it perfect for subterfuge. But why a rooster? To answer this, we need to understand Europe at the time. The rivalry between France and Britain was intense, with both nations continually spying on each other. As naval powers, much of their competition occurred by sea. Information about shipping routes, ports, and fleet movements was critical, and Napoleon was desperate to gather every ounce of intel he could. While traditional spies were effective, they were also increasingly likely to be caught. Napoleon decided to think outside the box, or rather outside the coop. Napoleon had learned of a curious behavior in roosters. They could be trained to return to specific locations, just like homing pigeons. Pigeons, of course, were a staple of wartime communication, but they were also a known quantity. Enemies were on the lookout for pigeons carrying tiny messages. A rooster, though, audacious and entirely unexpected. Napoleon and his advisors commissioned a small group of animal handlers to start training roosters. The goal? To have these birds carry microscrolls of encrypted messages, providing key intelligence. Imagine a British naval officer seeing a lone rooster strutting near the docks, hardly a cause for alarm. Meanwhile, the bird might be carrying plans of naval blockades or enemy ship positions tucked neatly in a tiny hidden pouch under its feathers. The training process was rigorous and intricate. First, the roosters were raised alongside the handlers to establish trust. Then came repeated training runs, where they were taught to return to Napoleon's designated drop points. Just like homing pigeons, they were conditioned to navigate back to their home base from remarkable distances. By all accounts, some of these roosters could travel upwards of 50 miles, even across enemy lines. But how successful was Napoleon's rooster espionage program? The answer lies in its impact more than its longevity. While this covert strategy was never used on a massive scale, it had a number of successful missions. On one rumored occasion, in 1804, a rooster delivered details of British fleet movements to French officers stationed along the coast. The intelligence allowed a French naval unit to outmaneuver their British counterparts, winning a minor but meaningful skirmish. It's important to remember that while the rooster spy sounds far-fetched to us today, it fit brilliantly into Napoleon's grander philosophy of warfare: to be unpredictable, to use what others wouldn't, and to always stay one step ahead of the enemy. And for that brief moment in time, he succeeded, thanks in part to his feathered friends. So what became of these feathered operatives? Unfortunately, like many aspects of espionage, they faded into history. Roosters were soon deemed too conspicuous for broader use as spies. They might blend in at first, but a lone rooster wandering enemy territory, especially after stories of their use spread, was bound to invite scrutiny. Homing pigeons reclaimed their spotlight, and the rooster returned to its usual place on the farm. But here's the truly mind-bending part. Even today, we don't fully know the extent to which animals, including roosters, were used in military strategies. Many records remain shrouded in secrecy, and some historians speculate that Napoleon's rooster strategy was merely the tip of the iceberg. If nothing else, it serves as a testament to humanity's creativity, even in moments of conflict. So now you know the story of Napoleon's rooster spies, a quirk of history that's as feather-brained as it is ingenious. The next time you hear a rooster crow, remember, that bird might just be smarter and braver than it seems. Keep your eyes open and your coop ready. After all, history has a funny way of surprising us when we least expect it.